All right, YouTube. Good day. How's things going out there in YouTube land? Hope everybody's doing well, doing all the things as usual, doing all the things. So I wanted to take a minute and kind of play off of Steve, what he's been doing, well, forever, but he's really hit hard the planning the last couple of weeks and going through how to plan and all the specific planning things. And this is going to go kind of with that, but ask more. I need assistance. This is a request for crowdsourcing planning assistance, for lack of a better way to say it. We'll get that way. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad. But subject of this plan, and something that I don't know. We may dismiss it. We may not. We may think that regular preparedness covers it. But I have a. Where's my list? I got a list here somewhere. Hold on. I have a list of items of how I don't think it falls on regular preparedness doesn't cover it, if you will. I've got a few notes on the subject. And what is that? And that is the technological takeover by AI. What did I grouped it all together. AI, the drones. Let me think about cyber, basically the beast system, as we've kind of alluded to it previously. The takeover of that system of society and the world, really. How do you plan for that? How do you resist that? And I don't have a whole lot of expertise in the cyber world. I mean, you know how to hide your electronic footprint. You know, you can totally go off the grid and live remote and consider yourself unremoved. But basically, you're isolating yourself to die, and just that's going to be the end of it. I think the plan for most of us is, whatever the situation is, to survive and thrive after the fact of whatever comes about, and move forward in another manner in the future, in other disaster events, other situations. Even if it's the Red Dawn scenario, everybody at least wants to put together a workable plan that gets you through to the other side to rebuild some form of community, right? So same thing in this situation. With a cyber AI takeover, do you really think you're going to end up like Buck Rogers? Or, as I kind of see it, it's more like a mixture of the Terminator and Matrix. Initially, early on, even now, and in the foreseeable future, there will still be humans at the top of that pyramid, right? There will still be people in control. But at some point, that's going to switch over and no longer be the case, I believe, in my mind. Somebody correct me if you think. I'm sure Guns Coast to Coast is of the mind that AI cannot take over human control. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But maybe some technological person could explain to me how that won't happen, or how people's over-reliance on technology is going to get the best of us, and this is definitely where we're headed. Because in my mind, short of the Lord coming, that's where we're headed. The few at the top who are pushing that arrogantly want to have dominion over all humanity, but in that arrogance, they're going to end up their own demise as well, not just ours. So thus the Terminator-like scenario of all that. kind of the question is, how do you do the things necessary beforehand so it doesn't get that far? That's part of the question. You have to build up parallel systems. You have to build parallel networks outside of the system. So right off the bat, are you at a disadvantage? Can you build networks without using the current network that AI is relying upon, even to get this video out? How much longer are we going to have access to this system to even do this type of thought process and crowdsource this? So that's kind of another reason to kind of do it now, because you're not going to have all the assistance that we have available right now between each other in that future. You're just not going to have the community of the internet to be able to chime in. Can you do the backdoor? What do you call that? The horses. What do you call that? What's that underground? The black net, dark net, whatever. And this is part of my ignorance, is like, is that really viable enough in this situation to where an AI bot cyber system can't shut that down? Kind of like a Matrix thing with agents running through the network trying to track down the Neos and stuff. Is it that easy to operate in there where you're still able to function in that type of network, or is it easier to shut down? Thoughts? Because your regular preparedness can keep you physically, going. Your food, water, all that stuff still applies, right? But as far as building community and thriving, like, there's already cyber AI automatic controls on just about every form of public infrastructure you can think of. So that stuff is already in tenuous position if AI cyber networks, the beast, was to take full control, right? All those things, hydroelectric, power plants, nuclear, your water purification systems, your cities' water treatment facilities, all that stuff is connected. All that stuff is interconnected. It's all in a system. All the monitoring, it's all in a network. Production facilities, food processing facilities, food shipments, just logistics in general. Look at Amazon and all the logistics there. Like, all this stuff is exposed to these warhorses, to this network. So it's all at whatever point in the future this could happen, all of that is out of your hands. It's almost like a grid down event, except it's in control by somebody that can control it and do whatever nefarious thing they want to do, which I see as a kind of as inevitability. So what are the things we have to plan for? You have to plan for those outages just like you do for anything else, right? But everybody else is going to be joyfully participating in this system while you suffer. So it won't be like everybody's suffering together. It'd be like the one guy in the Matrix that knows the stake isn't real, but he doesn't care. That's going to be the majority of people aimlessly walking through the Matrix, right? Like, how many times have you used that parallel already to describe people's like aimless walk through life? So there's a difference between surviving that scenario, I guess. Then you have to get to the point of resistance. Like, what do we have to do? Like, I don't even have a clue where to start. I don't know, maybe it won't be in my lifetime, but it's like one of those things that, again, we're crowdsourcing this before the need arises, while still potential to develop plans and backup plans. As they say, primary alternate contingency plans for this exist, the ability to do that. But access to resources, a big issue. for just about everybody, especially. So, are you able to hop back and forth, participate in the beast systems, and hop out when you want to? Well, they don't like that. They won't want that. Um, so, they'll be chasing you down like Neo, right? It's it's very symbolic in what goes on in that movie and what would go on in this type of scenario, right? Even in the central bank digital currency world, trying to operate outside of the economy will be very, very difficult. So it kind of parallels that to a little bit. And then you throw in robot dogs for police and drones and everything else. Like, how do you contend with that to still live a free life, right? Again, I don't know where to start, but I see all these hazards out there, all these things to be concerned about and plan for, but I have no idea how to do it. Short of some of the physical resistance things, technology side of it, like the only thing I can think of is like need directional EMPs, large scale EMPs, like things that actually shut the system down, which hinders everybody and hurts everybody, which nobody's going to like you for that. How do you pull the plug on the matrix? But if you pull the plug on the matrix again, everybody suffers. If it gets to the point where it has total control, how do you roll back the matrix before it gets to that point? Everybody's so happy with all the conveniences that this technology brings. Nobody wants to, well, not nobody, but very few want to prevent it from just doing whatever it wants. So what are some things that delay implementation of this, or roll it back completely, short of hindering all humanity, right? Do we all just go to Africa and shut Africa off from the net? Like, it's the most technologically not exposed, even though it has a lot of technology implemented. Questions without answers is what I have today. But you're going to have trading limitations, limited access to resources. Some of my notes here. And how do you stop the system before it takes over completely, a la the Terminator? What's Judgment Day? So again, we need some crowdsourced planning on this, I think, to give everybody ideas and community resilience ideas. It needs to be ideas based upon how the community can, because you are definitely, if you just do this as an individual, you're just going out to die in pasture. It's the whole lone wolf concept, right? Like, okay, go die alone. Nobody cares. Not the ideal way to do it. So, issues with technology. Do you build a parallel technology? And issues of technology repair, having access to the resources to repair technology that you need to use to resist. Where's 420 at? He was doing a lot of technology recycling activities. Maybe he's got clues. But yeah, I don't know. Just want to throw this out there and see what kind of ideas I got back, because it's very nascent in my mind as far as what I need to do, but it's very prevalent in the hazards that are out there and what they are doing in my mind. So I see it as a very imminent, any day threat. Like, more and more control of this by this technology, less and less ability to resist it, to live free, to do what you want, to, take care of yourself, to others. And the more this technology has control, the more they can tell you what to do, what they want, not what you feel is right in any form or fashion. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to throw that out there and see what we get some conversations back and forth. This has been a little bit long, so I'll cut it off here, but definitely. Hold on, let me finish it up here before I shut off. I want to hear Steve's ideas, if he has any. I'm sure he will. Adventurous Guide to the Galaxy, he's kind of a young guy that's technologically inclined. Maybe he has thoughts. Dad on YouTube's a technology guy, right? Is this just a needless worry? Like technology is not going to be our enemy? Where this is a 0.001% threat, or as in my mind, it's a lot higher. Because you don't want to, you drive yourself crazy trying to plan for the 0.001, right? It's better to plan for the greater, let's get 3% or better threat. Again, your basic preparedness will cover you for a period, but when it gets to the problem of risk sustainment, you have to move beyond just self-sustainment. You have to go into community level, then resistance, and eventually you got to roll it back. Take it over or roll it back. I have no clue how that would work. I have no clue. Again, drones, robot dogs, all these things that could be out there, all the denial of access to resources that could easily be implemented, even right now, very concerning. So your thoughts, YouTube. Prep hard, live free.